Welcome to Jackal Digital. I'm Simon and today we'll take a look at dot formatting that you can also use to make film credits. Something like this, but a bit more complex. I will show you the example in the Fusion page. You can also do it in the Edit page by using the Text Plus node. The only thing that you can do in the Edit page is change the actual font and the color. So let's go to the Inspector tab. I just have some text inside. I'll show you how to do this in the Fusion page because it's exactly the same in the Edit page. But if you want to make changes in the Edit page, you'll have to go to this drop-down menu, select Fusion Overlay and enable it so you get these lines. Now this is the character level styling that you don't have access to in the Edit page. In the Fusion page you do, and you can change individual letters, words, or any selection that you make. Now let's go to this example in the Fusion page. So what you can have is something like this. This is a minimum effort. The whole text is the same and the spacing was done manually. Then you can have something like this. It's a little bit more pleasing to the eyes, but the spacing is also all over the place as you can see. And lastly, you can have something like this. Now it's still not the best, but as you can see, you can actually have more dots, not just in between two sections. So let's make a new text node. Disconnect this. This is just a background node that you can find right here, and a merge node. Connect the background to the yellow input and the text. So I have the text node. We'll go to the Inspector tab, type something in. Now if these are movie credits, now if I display these credits for a moment, you can see that we have different fonts, center aligned, right aligned, left aligned, and we have multiple of them. So how you do the formatting will depend on the content that you have and how you actually want to position it. Now let's say that I want something in the middle, so maybe name of the movie, then you can have cast, and then you'll split this to maybe actor, and then I'll use a tab. Let's go with role, and maybe let's go with nickname. Now first let's position this. How we'll position it is using the tab. We have the tab spacing right here, and you have up to 8 tabs available. Now I will position this movie name, which will be in the center, with 8 tabs. Now I'll simply have to count this. So this is 8, and I can now change the position of this 8th tab to 0 to be in the center, and the alignment is also in the center. I can align it to the left, or I can align it to the right. You can also do this at the top by clicking. The icon will change so you can see what the alignment is, and you can also change the position. But since this is in the center, I'll just simply type it in as 0. So we have the name of the movie. We'll then put this one also at 8 tabs. So now this 8th tab is affecting both the movie name and the cast. But now we have the actor, role, and nickname. So let's say that the actor will be maybe 5. I'll position it to the left, but first I have to put 5 tabs to the actor. So 5. And now I can position the actor, and this will be aligned to the right. And for the position I'll use -0.2. Now we have the role. This one will be 6. I've already put 1 tab in between, so this should be 6. And it is, as you can see. And I will align this to the left. And lastly we have the nickname. I will also put 1 tab here, and this is now tab 7. And I will also align this to the left. Now this font at the moment is way too big and we'll fix it. I'll just align it as best as I can. So I will align the roll also to the center and I'll put dots in between the names. Now at the moment we have tabs 5, 6, 7 and 8 occupied and 1, 2, 3, 4 unused, so we can still use them if we have to. So now let's make something up for the actors, the roles and the nicknames. So now let's position this. So Janine Claudia will also have 5 tabs, the same as the actor, but I could also position it with 1 tab and make the position and alignment again. Since I've already done this, for the actor, role and nickname, I can simply use the same ones. So 5 tabs. So I have Janine Claudia, Jessie and Claude. Now what I want to do is put dots in between these spaces. Now at the moment, Janine Claudia, Jessie and Claude are aligned to the actor, role and nickname, which is what I want. But I want to put dots in between the names. So if I now put dots before Jessie, this is what happens, not what I want. If I delete the tab, this is what happens. So this one would have to be aligned all the way to the end. So definitely not what I want. So how can we fix this? Well, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs unused. And the easiest way to do that would be to use these tabs. So what I'll do is I'll simply delete all of the tabs here and use 1 tab. Go to number 5 to see what the settings are. So mine is 0.2 and 1. Go to the first tab, which is what this Janine will now be. Type in minus 0.2 and the alignment will be 1. So this is exactly the same as it was before. But now because when you add a tab, it is automatically added to the previous one. So we now have 1 tab and the second tab, and this second tab can now be aligned to this line. So click on the second tab, adjust the alignment to the left side. So when I add the points, as you can see, they will go from this point on. So now I just have to change the position of this line to the first line. Overlap it, so minus 0.2, and now you will simply add the dots until you overlap the top. We'll do the same for the last one. So we already have the tab applied, but this will now be tab 3. The alignment will be to the left. But now we'll have to adjust the position somehow. So let's see, if we adjust the position to this point and add some dots, this will be just fine. But what happens when we add a new line? So let's add a new line, make something up. So 1 tab, this is perfect. Let's use a second tab, add a bunch of points. And now I'll make something up that is either longer or shorter than Jessie. So I now have this. What do you think will happen when I add a new tab and some dots and type something in? Well, let's test it out. So I have a tab, I add dots, and as you can see, the dots appear from this line. So what you have to do is, instead of using the dots at the beginning, is use space, and then you will have to remove the dots until you get something that lines up. In this case, it doesn't line up the best, as you can see. Now what you can also do is go to the advanced controls and use forced monospace, which will depend on the font that you use, because it can make it look ugly. So you can make slight adjustments, but don't make huge adjustments. Now the best option that you can do is to actually use a font that is monospaced. Now I'll go with this font, and now I'll show you what you can do that you can do in the edit page. So I'll change the font size, maybe 0.005, make some adjustments, And as you can see, with the font changed, I would now also have to adjust by using some more dots. Now what did I do at the moment? Did you notice? Well, basically I've deleted this tab. If I go to tab number 2 and change the position, as you can see, these two lines now move together, which is something that you can also do to get a better alignment. And now let me show you how you can make a difference that you can't do in the edit page. You can right click in the area text field, go to character level styling. Now when you do this, the text node has to be selected, so you can select a section of the text. If the text node is not selected but displayed, as you can see, you can't select the text. So select the node, select a section of the text. You'll have to go to the modifiers tab so you can make the changes. And if the text is not selected, you won't be able to make any changes. So select the text. You can now increase the size, the font, the color. You can also adjust the tracking and maybe also the line spacing, but in this case you have to select at least 2 lines. And now this is what happens when you make the font smaller. So you have to put in a lot more dots to fix the formatting. Now you can also go to the shadings tab, though if you want to affect the whole text, I will do this under the tools in the text node. So go to the shadings, go to number 3, enable. So this is shadow by default. You can then go to the blend option to lower the softness, maybe change the color, in this case to something brownish. And that's pretty much it. Now let me just go to the edit page. In this one, I've already enabled the character level styling. Since as you can see I can select it, I'll go to the Fusion page. But inside here it is not enabled, so I would have to go to character level styling to make the changes. So which one is easier, the Fusion way or the edit page way? That's up to you, but you can do everything in the Fusion page and then just come back into the edit page. Now that's how you can do movie credits using the dotting format. If you want to animate it, I do have a video on that, and also how to make more complex film credits. For a simple animation though, you would simply animate the layout. And you would want to move it very slowly from the beginning to the end, because if you make the animation too fast, well, you won't be able to read anything. Because the text is jumping up and down. But if I instead move the text just to this location, let's see how legible it is. So it is better, but still not the best. But that is just something that you have to accept when dealing with film credits. That's it for this video, and if you want to see content like this, subscribe to the channel. I'm Simon, and until next time Jackal, keep it digital.